Okay, so I'm going to show you how to tie the Flagler's Euro golden stone jig. It's a nice simple pattern, imitation of a golden stonefly nymph. It's nice and easy to tie, so I'll show you how to do it now. So in the vise, I'm putting a fully milled jig false hook in a size 14, and then I've got a fully milled 3.8mm black slotted tungsten bead. So to fix the bead in place, just apply some 0.3mm tin wire to the hook shank. So just make a few turns, snap that end off, and then we just use some fully milled super glue. So I apply a little dot of super glue in between the bead and the wire, and then I just push the wire up into the bead, and that will fix it in place. Snap your tag end off. Now I'm going to use it's a tan 8/0 thread. Just build up a little ramp of thread in front of that tin wire, take it up over onto the bead. And the tail of this fly, it's a barred root beer coloured silly leg. So I just wrap that around the thread and bring it up on top. Stretch them, and as you stretch them, just try and separate them, and that should give them a nice sort of V shape. Okay, so that looks fine. Just run it a little bit further back. Okay. So there's your tails, we'll cut them a little bit later on. So the rib of this fly is a fine copper wire, and the body is some cock pheasant tail. So I'll tie them both in together. Okay, so we catch those in and then run the thread in touching turns up towards the bead, just to add a little touch of security to the body. Just once again, just apply a little touch of super glue to the underbody there, and then we wind this cock pheasant tail up. When you're winding it, just make sure it doesn't twist, and then you'll have a nice smooth body. Okay, wind this up. I'm going to take it to quite close to the bead and catch it in with your thread. A few turns of thread, and then under tension just snap off the butts there. And take your wire and just rib the body in the opposite direction that you wound the pheasant tail. So wind that up, nice even turns. When you're up to the bead, just wrap it around your thread a couple of times and catch it off. Just helicopter that copper wire off, and then the thorax is it's a golden olive coloured dubbing. Just here I've got it's a hare's ear dubbing mixed with a little bit of synthetic in a golden olive colour. Tie it on a little bit heavier than you want it to be, because we're going to pick this out a little bit. Let's try that. Okay, that should work fine. So once again, just apply a little touch of glue to your thread, and then we'll whip finish. Remove your tying thread. Just cut these tails roughly to length. Ideally, cut them a little bit longer than you want, and then you can just pick this dubbing out a little bit, just so it gives the impression of legs up at the front. And there we go. That's a Flagler's Euro golden stone jig.